Sasa Diana,
Poa sana.
uko fiti?
Yeah.
So there have been ongoing cases of issues, kuna kind of tension between men and women, regardless of the context zenye zinaongelelewa. So we're trying to make things right as men. Manze mimi naongea for men, manze men mnanisikia hapo. We are making issues right. We are setting matters right straight.
I'm here
So
for
as a
it.
gentleman, you'll kick us off with an introduction.
Yeah. Okay, so on the issues of femicide.
Introduce yourself.
Oh, I am Diana.
Yeah, so you introduce yourself and then I introduce myself.
Yeah,
Cool.
I am Diana. I'm a student from JCOT. I am an activist. I'm a mental health advocate. Yeah, and I'm also in campus, me too. Yeah.
Great. So my name is Najel Otieno. I'm also a fourth year student here at JCOT, pursuing strategic management. I'm also part of Campus Me Too, which is a movement that is geared towards ending sexual harassment in campuses. Is it from
staff to
from
students,
staff to students
in higher learning institutions.
in higher learning institutions? So yeah, so we are here in the hot subject that is everywhere in the social media, in everyone's lips, is the issue of femicides. So just a definition, what is femicide?
Okay, femicide is the intentional killing of women. Nikisema intentional, I mean you're being killed because you're a woman.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was intentional.
So there is a sense of if someone kills a woman and kills her simply because she's a woman, then there's the aspect of superiority. Of which in these cases, most of the cases tunaskiza is that femicide is being propagated mostly by men. Sindio? Which is true. But something that people don't know is that, do you know, like, if you hate another woman, as a lady, you yourself, and you kill her, that's also termed as femicide. Yeah. So there are lines of, I think, so far, penye tumefika, even as a nation, we have a disconnect between two phenomenons, that is femicide and homicide. Like, people don't know the lines. So, like, would you care to shed light on the line, the line between femicide and homicide?
Okay, so as I said, femicide is the intentional killing of women. So the keyword upon intentional. Homicide is killing one another. There is a big difference between femicide and homicide. Let me give an example. Seme there is this issue ya husband and wife wamezozana.
Yeah.
Wamezozana. Then the wife okay, then maybe the husband kills the wife. Walikuwa wanazozana, sindio?
Yeah.
Na maybe ilikuwa defense, but I won't say it's defense. Iyo sitaitam as femicide because maybe it wasn't intentional. Yeah.
So that will qualify to be homicide.
Yeah, that's homicide.
So basically, homicide is the killing of another human being.
Killing of
on a bare minimum level ground.
Yeah.
That is what homicide is. So with femicide, we have intentions, and we have had rampant cases within the country and in the past weeks. But there's also another phenomenon because we're hearing there's an outburst amongst men that why is it that when ladies are subjected to these brutal killings, then there's a high there's a high number of people stepping up to speak. But when these cases happen to men, then it's kuna venye kana kwanga tu downplayed, like haikwangi like inapewa emphasis as to the way it's being given. The emphasis is being given to the cases when the cases of femicide. So they are the cases where now men themselves are killed, and that is called Androcide, where the intentional killing of a man. You see, where so tumesha sema that femicide and androcide are on a higher level compared to homicide. So homicide is the no killing of a human being.
There's no intention.
Yes, yeah, like it might be accidental or whatever. But femicide and androcide, they are being fueled by hatred.
Yeah.
You see,
as hatred towards the gender.
Yeah. So if you hate women, sorry, if I hate women, and that becomes my sole motivation of harming you, and I go to the extent of killing you, then that qualifies to be femicide.
Yeah.
And then if you hate me, do you hate me?
Okay, no.
So just to cut the ice, just to break the ice. So yeah, so it's on those. So what would be some of the causes? Because everything that is happening, there has to be a root cause. What would be some of the root causes of femicide?
Okay, so basically, to shed more light on the homicide and femicide, if I just kill you simply because you're a man, that's not homicide. Are you trying to get me?
Yeah.
If I just kill you, like if I kill you just because you're a woman, that's not homicide. Yeah. So based on statistics, from 2019 to 2024, over 500 women have been killed.
And that is what has been perhaps reported.
Ni kitu imekuwa, but actually si eti imekuwa public kwa media. You get?
So there's a prospect that the number might be higher than 500.
Higher.
Okay.
So this year peke yake, this month, from 1st to 17th, 9 cases have been reported. Femicide, 9 from 1st to 17th. Na ningapi zimekuwa public? 2 peke yake, ya Waeni na ya Scarlett. And I think like sasa, you know, like ni kitu imekuwa, but imekuwa chini ya maji. Na according to statistics, here sasa tunaongelea based on statistics. Yeah. The number of people, like ama watu wanaua the women are the husbands and the boyfriends. So these are the people who are close to them, but ni kitu haijakuwa public. So it's something that has been there. That's why tunasema femicide is an issue in Kenya. You get?
Yeah.
Now that issue of that doctor being killed, like, okay, nothing justifies murder, honestly.
Yeah.
But that's homicide. You get? Hatujui, maybe alikosana na mtu akamuua. That's homicide.
Yeah.
So femicide is really an issue in Kenya. Na according to that guy mwenye alishikwa, alisema ameua over 70 women.
Who's that?
That there's this guy alishikwa akijaribu kuhepa hapo I think JKIA.
Oh, yeah.
That guy alisema ameua over 70 women. Hakusema men, alisema women. Ndio ujue femicide is really an issue.
So okay. So I'm sensing you're now getting so passionate about this, which is so understandable. It's totally okay. It's totally okay. So why? Because we have started this conversation by highlighting that there's a line between homicide and femicide.
Yeah.
Now this guy has killed 70 women. So that qualifies to be femicide.
That's femicide.
Because you are certain that he hated those women.
Okay.
Because we know that the line of it only qualifies to become femicide if there's the intention of there's a certain kind of law towards women. So the way you've given good statistics. So are you certain that those murders were propagated or fueled by his hate towards women?
Okay.
Because there might be other issues. You see, someone might be killing people because he's a serial killer. You get? There's the case of Onyancha from, I don't know if he was from Kisii or where, and he was killing women and kids. You see, and even his interview in prison, like when he was explaining it, it was not from the perspective of I hated those women. That's why I was killing them. You see, that was a serial killer. You see, so at the end of the day, what qualifies the analogy of a murder being femicide or androcide is when we are clear of the intentions of the perpetrator.
Okay, but Najel, as long as it's in an intentional killing, it's intentional killing. And Tena, like, it's women, like, it's intentional killing of women. You get? Like, for him, that was intentional. Now, he's targeting women. That's his target. So that's enough to make it a femicide issue. Now, you have asked me something about the causes. Okay, kwanza achani si dwell in that perception of that guy who was arrested. Side, based on statistics, most of them ni husbands that they are boyfriends, the people who they are close to.
Yeah.
Hapo tunaweza pata the issue ya patriarchy. Issue ya patriarchy whereby unasema mimi mwanamke hezi, ama chauvinism, mimi mwanamke hezi niambia kitu. Mimi mwanamke hezi niambia kitu. Unakuja kwa nyumba, like I had a certain neighbor whereby the mother was manhandled by the husband to a point of death, but hakukufa. Just because this husband alikuwa na ile like ideology ya ukitoka, you must tell your husband everything, like lazima usik permission from him, nini ndo uende mahali. Sasa then akakuja na the husband was like, wewe umetoka wapi? Umetoka Umalaya. And the wife was like, yeah, nimetoka Umalaya. Now this husband akampiga to a point that alitaka kumuua just because alikuwa na ile notion ya mimi mwanamke hezi niambia kitu. Unanijibu kama nani? You get the aspect of chauvinism and patriarchy.
Yeah, no, and it's very good that you have brought that as a factor, because now you see everything that you are seeing, it's just the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah.
There's the huge chunk of ice that is still beneath the ocean that we are not seeing, and it will be a fault or to focus on the tip of the iceberg and not look at the issue objectively from deep within where it stems from. So historically there has been the male dominance, male chauvinism has been there. And we were just having this conversation before we were doing this recording, that according to me personally, I feel that patriarchy and chauvinism have that line. And each and every one of us, we are going to argue our facts and our beliefs differently depending on our system, the way we have been raised up, and things to do with like religion, the things that influence our belief system. You see. So according to me, I'm a Christian, and according to my faith, I perceive patriarchy as the superiority of men. It's like venye tumeumbwa, men are in that order wako juu ya women, you see. But, and I think that that's how God created, because even in creation, like when God created Adam or Kwanza Nini, like it was Adam at the forefront to take care of the creation. And when God saw that Adam needed a helper, aka got into the rib, aka create a woman for him to become a helper. But and that's patriarchy, where the system is dominated, or the system is more or less in the hands of men. You get? But there's no point. I'm actually not pro chauvinism, but to some extent, patriarchy, I would agree with it. But the chauvinism now of objectifying women, that's something that I will not rally behind. That thought, you see. So it's good that you have brought that point, but it's also important for us to know that what is informing the belief system of someone. You see, what are the underlying things that are making someone believe the way they are believing. And I feel like as men, this is a fault on our side, that in the historically speaking, we have abused that power that we were given by God to protect, provide, and take care of the of the woman.
Exactly.
You see, and that's now you see, most men are going to look at it that oh, there's a power imbalance to them, and like women are kind of a little lower, though that's not the best word, but they'll be like, I can dominate you because it's like even physical characteristics are more masculine than you. Even in the way I am built up, I can be able to manhandle you, because it's going to be very difficult. If there's a fight right now between us, there's a prospect that, you know what, we're not getting there, but just the thought of it, you see, the way we are. So there's the aspect of patriarchy and chauvinism. I'd like us to pick on the contribution of the economic landscape of the country. There's a statistics that was released by Infotrack a few days ago that was stating that 73% of Kenyans are living in dire financial crisis. The population of Kenya right now, as of 2021, was 53 million. So that is about 38 plus million people living in dire financial strains. You see, so there could be an explanation that some of these cases might be fueled even with the way the economy is, because some of these young girls who are the victims of, let's say, of femicide, maybe it's because of the economical status, the way things are. And we have been talking about even the role that prostitution is playing, where we have now victim blaming. You see, from a section of the populace that's saying that huyu venye memfanyikia nini alikuwa ameenda kwa trade yake and such kind of stuff. So like what do you think is the weight of the economical landscape in the issue as far as femicide, now that it is the rampant subject as far as it is concerned?
Okay, before I answer that, there's something you have mentioned. Na I feel like nisipoiongelea sahi
inakuasha
itapotea. Inakuasha sana, victim blaming. To be honest, ifike point whereby the victims, the people who are being killed, yani, okay, I want you to see it in this perception. The women are being killed and they're also being blamed. That's very unfortunate. That's very unfortunate, by the way. Because mimi nikitoka kwangu, let's say like, to give example, nimeenda hapo juu ya pesa, of which that's always not the case. Maybe nimeenda hapo.
But there's a prospect of it being true. Who at the end of the day, hakuna mtu mwenye anajuanga what happens behind.
Mimi maybe nimeenda hapo juu ya pesa. At the back of my mind, mimi like singejua huyu mtu anaenda kuniua. It's something I've been doing. Singejua nimeenda hapo huyu mtu aende kuniua. So as much as people will say maybe it was collateral damage in the line of work, then now they start blaming the victim. Ulijipeleka hapo juu ya umalaya juu ya ni. That's very bad. Like honestly, nothing justifies that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nothing justifies that.
Yeah, and these, for any person who's going to be listening to this, blaming, whatsoever form of blaming is a lazy man's approach in trying to find meaning to the occurrences of manze. Tafuta information, try to figure out what is happening instead of blaming, because at the end of the day, now if we blame the victims, what good is, even if it was their fault, yes, what good is it going to play? So every person, manze, when it comes to these issues, tuache kublame. That blaming, let's put it aside and try to look at the causes of these issues and try to mitigate them. So as we come to a close, tukikaribia kumaliza this conversation, there's the place of society. You see, the societal norms, and we have kind of touched on it when we have spoken about patriarchy and chauvinism, and maybe just to bring the aspect of parenthood. There's a case of a certain man who was killed last year, sometime in September, and he was stabbed by I don't know if that lady was how old, 20-year-old or 21-year-old, and he was stabbed 25 times. 25 times death. And I was looking at that story, and the way the mother of that girl was narrating that story, the girl was called Anne someone. And the way the mother was narrating that story, to a great extent, I was seeing the role of parenthood in contributing to the kinds of people that are growing up into the society. So like, what do you think could be some of the roles, if any, that parenthood is playing as far as femicide or androcide is concerned?
Okay, you have actually reminded me of a certain case in the role of the parents. There's this guy mwenye alikuwa anasema ameishi kuchukia women because like the parents walikuwa anamwambia wanawake ni watu wabaya. Okay, yeye alilelewa na a single dad, of which sasa siwezi jua enye iliwafanya iache so waachane. So like alikuwa akimwambia women are bad people, women will heartbreak you. So like ameishi kukua kuchukia women, like literally it's inborn. Like amelelewa from akue mtoto, women are bad people. Mwanamke akikukosea mpige ama hamha, cause they'll bring you no good. Now you see, now like that person, now savle amelelewa in such a mindset, mwanamke akinikosea beat, kill. You see? Yeah, now like na you find maybe someone amelelewa na parents wanamwambia like it's so important for you to care for your sisters, for you to care for women. Hata kama uko na marafiki, make sure unajua penye yako. Ukiona a certain lady unajua akikuwa attacked, like stand up for them. There are men who are actually raised to be gentlemen. Now you see where it comes in. Like they really play a big role in raising either gentlemen or cowards.
So there is the place of parenthood, and parenthood plays a very significant role. Cindy, now we have seen the decay in our country, in the entire society, and I usually believe that the state of the nation is a mirror of the state of this basic unit of the society, and that is the family. If the family is crumbling, if the family has an available father or an available mother or an abusive parent, then it's those issues, they pile up. They pile up to the point that when people grow up, then they find kind of ease in committing such kinds of atrocities. Because even if you look at the traditional African setup, raising of kids was like communal. You'd see like, nikiwa na mtoto, huyu mtoto amefanya makosa, jirani was at liberty of punishing that child. You see, but right now in the space of westernization and individualism, it's the sense like wewe jirani, you're living in this flat and then mtoto wako commit a mistake, and then jirani anamchapa mtoto wako because commit a mistake. As a parent, you'll be the one to be furious, like, unaona mtoto ni wangu, mimi ndo nafaa kumdiscipline, you don't have any right over my child, nini, and such kinds of stuff. So parenthood plays a very, very big role in this. So anyway, it's a very deep topic that we might not exhaust. Speaking about it, nini, hatuwezi maliza, you get? Yeah, but the contribution that we have had, the little insight that we've given, it's still significant. So maybe perhaps parting shots on the topic of femicide, androcide, the massive killings, they're really devastating. So maybe parting shot.
I've remembered something. There are a lot of people who are saying that, who are telling women, oh, be careful around this man. And it's so, it's so embarrassing to see a man telling a lady, do not trust men, be careful around men. Yet the same men will want to date these ladies.
And it's not only men, it's only women. It's also women telling their fellow women, be careful.
Like I've just said, it's so embarrassing to also find men saying that, and yet they would want to date the same woman.
And it is equally embarrassing for women to be saying that.
Yet the men will want to date the same women. Sasa ukiniambia nikuwe careful around men, meaning hata wewe sahi Najel, if you want to take me out on a date, I'll be very uneasy. Because
please don't, I'm a gentleman.
Because it's no longer safe. Na mmetuambia tukue careful around you guys. So mimi tu nitajua Najel ataniua. Siendi hiyo date. Huh? It doesn't make sense. Instead of like, let's just stop victim blaming. Pia naweza sema at some point that's saying that you are also blaming men, because let's look at the people who have really done this act. Not all men are bad. Some men are really genuine.
And not also all women.
Na pia, not all women wameenda BNBs juu ya umalaya. There are ladies who are looking for love.
So why are you escaping? Why are you escaping?
No, wait. There are ladies who are really looking for love. Sasa, ebu just now tell me like mmepatana na mtu dating site. Me, I'm just looking for love. Sindio, tumepatana. Umeniambia wewe kwako uko na siblings, maybe you're staying with people, and me, I just want us to bond. There's a reason tumeenda BNB. I want us to bond. Mimi sijajua you're going to kill me.
Yeah.
Ningejua you're going to kill me, I wouldn't be there in the first place.
It's okay. It's okay. I know you're so passionate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pate a
parting shot.
So guys, in conclusion, like femicide is really a menace in Kenya right now. So hata nikisikia watu wakisema that pia men are being killed, it's really sad, because according to statistics, femicide is a really big cause in Kenya sahi. Na instead of victim blaming, ama sijui mkuje mwanze kusema sijui pia men pia nini, why don't we just find ways to deal with these people who are really doing the act? Why, like, let's find ways to deal with these people, to deal with these perpetrators. Na pia, like, for the ladies, I'll just say, when you go somewhere, ambia mtu, it's no longer a safe time to be keeping secrets from each other. Ambia mtu, you're going out with someone, ata piga picha ya ID, tumana, sawa. Na ukiona ina exceed a certain time, wambie, they just call you to just check up on you. Make sure you know who you're going out with. Take a picture of the ID, tumania hao watu wako. Don't be keeping secrets from each other at this point. Just let people know uko wapi na uko na nani. Yeah, and I thank you for making me part of to talk on femicide, because it's really a menace right now. Yeah.
So ladies and gentlemen, when all is said and done, the thing that remains to be the threshold of this subject is that femicide or androcide or homicide, whatever it is, those are crimes. And I want to encourage every person listening to this, every Kenyan, be it on X, be it on Facebook, be it on Instagram, wherever you are, let us focus on condemning the crime, not the gender. If each and every time we have these cases and gender cards are always being pulled, then we will not be able to make any substantive effort towards mitigating these atrocities. So therefore, to my fellow men, I know that we are being attacked and all that stuff, but the point is, men, according to society, we are supposed to be providers and protectors. Let us not forget our roles in the society. To the toxic women perpetrating toxic feminism, it is not right to always use the unfortunate incidents of your fellow women to propagate a selfish agenda of toxic feminism.